Janela trying desperately to fight free.
He better.
Oh, God!
A suplex of some sort.
Introducing the participants first, from Asbury Park, New Jersey, weighing 202 pounds, he is the bad boy, Joey Janela.
Ex-Calder, I had lunch today with Joey Janela.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's more to the story. He is one unique cat.
Yes, he is
Yeah.
one of, and I know Joey pretty well, one of the weirdest individuals I have ever encountered in the world of professional wrestling, and it is a world full of weird individuals, but Joey Janela has won over the AEW faithful already, and think about what a victory here over Kenny Omega would do for his standing with the fans around the world.
It's the biggest match that Joey Janela's had since he signed with this company, and he signed here for a lot of money and with high expectations. His overall win-loss record is not stellar.
No.
To be frank about it, and wins and losses count here. But it's not like the great Kenny Omega's been on an amazing roll either, quite frankly.
No.
You'll admit that. He's not been at his best.
And his opponent from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing 215 pounds, he is Kenny Omega.
Well, if you watched Dynamite last week, you saw Kenny Omega appear at the top of the entrance ramp after Jon Moxley's match, and Omega brought some plunder with him.
Moxley, Omega, what a collision course they're on. But we also had last week, folks, at ringside, our announced position, Pac. And Pac is pissed.
Before Omega could even use those weapons on Jon Moxley, Pac intervened, jabbing Omega from behind with a chair to the back of the head. And in real time, just to be frank with you people, that was just over an hour ago. If Omega's, if his brains are still scrambled, that can only behoove the bad boy Joey Janela.
Yeah, you're right. Great opportunity for Janela. He's fresh, he's ready. He wants to be known as a more well-rounded and all-around talent than a hardcore-like fighter. Like this match here being no rules, non-sanctioned. And by the way, folks, we talk about wins and losses. These non-sanctioned matches that we have here occasionally don't count on the one-loss record.
Yeah, very much so.
Not sanctioned by AEW.
Joey Janela did take part in the first ever lights-out unsanctioned match here in AEW. Was defeated by Jon Moxley, but that loss and that win for Moxley does not count on either man's record, nor will this match. But Omega, I'm not actually sure what the matchmaking thought process is behind this match, but Omega has been getting more and more extreme in his attacks on Moxley. Actually, they've both been ratcheting it up, and so perhaps this is a test for Omega to get back to wet his feet in that world.
Omega has his sights set on something big, something dangerous, and something final with Jon Moxley at some point in time.
Well, they will meet on November 9th at Full Gear on pay-per-view, on brlive.com, on ITV Box Office in the UK, on a Fight TV internationally, UK and Ireland for ITV Box Office. And Janela, not his first rodeo.
Janela's not going to wait on a collar and elbow tie-up. He's going to bring out the toys, if you will, early going here. Flat the foot stomps are legal, by the way. And Omega says not tonight, no chairs. At least not under these circumstances.
And Omega, with that chop resonating throughout the Gaines Arena here in Boston, Massachusetts.
It's almost as if Omega is desperately trying to regain the overall confidence of the audience, because a lot of folks thought because Kenny was the Wrestler of the Year last year, he owned the wrestling world, he was a top signee in AEW, we need to speculate that he would come in and be untouchable. That has not been the case here.
Very much so. He had that match with Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing this past May to determine the man that would take part in the first ever AEW World Championship match. Everyone thought that was Kenny Omega's match to win, but Chris Jericho had something to say about it, and that has sent Kenny Omega on a downward spiral.
I really like the upside of bad boy Joey Janela from the late Bam Bam Bigelow's hometown of Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Beautiful step-up work on Ronda there, taking Omega down and out of the ring. Janela tope suicida launching Kenny Omega into the barricade. And you mentioned how Janela does not want to be known exclusively as a hardcore wrestler here.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see if he opts to show off his skills. But, as he sends Omega head first into the ring bell.
It's a good thing our doctor, you saw in there, Dr. Sampson sitting at ringside. In these matches especially, you got to be, even though there's no rules, you still got to use your brain a little bit if you're the referee, because a guy can't defend himself. No matter what the stipulations are, you stop the damn match.
Very much so. There could be a referee stoppage. There could be a doctor stoppage in a match like this.
It could be a moving of chairs stoppage.
Yeah.
And now a ladder being brought into play. The ladder always has a home field advantage. Everybody loves the ladder. The next time they're going to be chanting, get the tables.
Janela filling the ring
with, as Ted Turner used to tell me, international objects. Not foreign objects, international objects. There's a stack of chairs being put in the ring, as you can see, obviously. And they're making a nice soft place for somebody to land here sooner than later, as Omega fires back up on Janela.
Knife edge chop there, staggers Janela.
These men, no matter what they may say, they have their personal issues, they have their issues to work through. Everybody wants to be the AEW champion.
Oh!
And man, oh man, what a shot right in the face of Kenny Omega came that steel chair at the hands of Joey Janela. Yes, this young lady's got a very concerned look on her face, as she should.
Nothing fancy about it. Janela just winging a chair right between the eyes of Kenny Omega, but Omega goes over the top. The Kotaro Crusher on the pile of chairs.
Both men suffering from that. Those chairs, nothing to play with or to land on.
And Omega, he might have landed awkwardly on that pile of chairs.
Yeah, it could be a hip pointer. Boy, and those things just are so much of a nuisance for the longest of time. Janela's on the outside is trying to get back together here.
Yeah, he's been scrambled.
Yeah.
But Omega also scrambled as well after that chair thrown into his face.
Omega
building up a head of steam.
Big time. Here he goes. Up and over.
Over the top. And I'm not sure who got the worst of that one.
I don't know. That's where you take a chance, high risk. Is it worth it? Really and truly, is it worth it?
We take another look at Kenny Omega launching himself over the top. And you can see how his legs got strung up on the top of the barricade.
And that's what screwed Omega up. His legs got hung up on the security railing. He got upside down and couldn't break his fall.
And you can see referee Paul Turner and now Doc Sampson actually checking on both. On that left leg, maybe the left shin of Omega. Giving the thumbs up to the crowd.
Well, I'm sure Janela's aware that there's an issue. And Kenny is aware that Janela's aware. So here we are, right? You still got to keep fighting.
Now Kenny Omega has Janela whipping him into the ring steps.
Rough ride. Worst landing. Not a good flight, folks. A little turbulence. Steel chairs, or stairs, I should say. We had chairs.
Yeah, we've
chairs.
And we've got a ladder still there.
Yeah.
On the apron.
And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, as I surmised might happen.
Oh,
wink, wink. We have a table involved. This is a lights-out matchup, one fall to a finish. Kenny Omega, Joey Janela. Table put in the ring.
Just saw a guy in a Tom Brady jersey cheering the table. It's the most Boston thing ever to have happened. Surprised it didn't happen in LA. And Omega returning Joey Janela to the ring.
Luckily, I think Omega dodged a bullet on his leg, but
he's still clutching it. I'm not sure if it's the shin, the ankle.
Yeah, me neither. He's shaking it off, though. He's battling through it. Here's Kenny Omega.
Omega.
Missile drop kick.
Pinpoint accuracy there.
Indeed. Hook of the leg. For a leg hook, got a near fall. To Janela's credit, he was man enough, tough enough to kick out after that missile drop kick. Would have beaten a lot of men.
Well, there is absolutely no question about Joey Janela's toughness, and JR, we learned that at Fyter Fest when he had the first ever lights out match with Jon Moxley. Janela threw everything he had and possibly more at Moxley, but Moxley was just somehow able to prevail.
Janela's got a significant upside. He's just got to get on a roll, Excalibur. He's got to get on a roll. He's got to build his own momentum. Nobody's going to do it for you here. Here comes Kenny.
Kenny Omega.
Omega
at the middle rope, the moonsault. You can't escape. 1, 2.
We've seen him before. He got a near fall this time. Again, Janela showing great grit, for the lack of a better term, in persevering through these challenges that are being thrown at him by Kenny Omega.
Omega grabbing a handful of that wild mane of hair of Joey Janela. And now looking for the snapdragon suplex. Janela, though.
Good back elbow.
Yeah, he knew it was coming.
Really solid.
Sheer jabbing into the midsection of Omega.
And it's legal. Boom! Man, that echoed throughout the arena here.
Janela takes a wild swing. Omega snaps with the dragon suplex.
Boy, that is a scintillating maneuver. And nobody does it any better than Kenny Omega. The snapdragon suplex is a stem winder.
And you notice how Omega throws his entire upper body backwards and wrenches down with those forearms to plant his opponent on the back of their head.
Ref, when you see somebody having equilibrium problems, that's just doing a good job right there, Ref. Check on the health of the athlete.
Yeah, Paul Turner making sure Janela has the wherewithal to continue. And oh, no. Oh, no.
Boy, Janela's sense of urgency fighting out this situation out here on the ring apron.
Omega, though, the high boot.
Oh, no, look out.
Got Janela hooked up. Janela has Omega on the shoulders. We've seen him use the Death Valley driver on the apron before. Joey Janela has.
3 elbows to the jaw, breaks the hold. And now Omega still. There it is! Oh, my God! Snapdragon suplex on the apron of the ring. Nothing more devastating that Kenny Omega can do to Joey Janela than this. Watch the suplex. All the pressure, all the strain on your neck, upper body.
You saw Janela trying to grab on to that top rope to prevent himself from being suplexed, but Omega exerts so much downward pressure and force that Janela was unable to avoid it and just got dumped on the back of his head on the apron.
Really hard fought pro wrestling match here, ladies and gentlemen, here on.
Oh, he's got him up. He could be looking for the one-winged angel. Off the.
What now, kid?
He's climbing up the steps. Janela trying desperately to fight free.
He better.
Oh, God!
A suplex of some sorts from the stairs, the steel stairs, and Janela finally executed some offense, but he's in a hell of a bad way. Both men are in a bad way.
The stench of desperation all over that suplex.
Take a look at this, folks, in slow motion. Watch this.
Oh!
Here's the slow-mo.
You saw Omega try to put that right arm down to brace for impact, but
didn't quite get it all done there with the force of Janela. Janela's fought his way right back in this matchup. And as Excalibur said so brightly and rightly early, a win for Joey Janela against Kenny Omega here on this broadcast is huge.
It's huge. I mean, it doesn't count for his win-loss record, but think about what that would do for him on an international level.
But psychologically,
yes,
it's going to count because he shows.
He beat the Wrestler of the Year, the 2018 Wrestler of the Year.
Absolutely. And a guy that's going to be fighting, no doubt, someday for the AEW Championship. Because if you're not here wanting to win that title, why are you here?
And look at this, Janela with the table bridged on the steps, but it's facing upward, so all that hardware is facing upward. It's creating even more vicious landing.
Janela now is preening around like a peacock. Now's not the time to do that, I don't believe. You don't want to give a guy like Kenny Omega another chance.
But this could be where, Janela has the advantage. Kenny Omega not usually used to finding himself in hardcore matches. Janela,
spine first. As Omega goes sailing into the those ladders, the ladder. I'll get it right. More impact. Quite frankly, I'm just wondering how much longer Kenny Omega is going to be able to withstand this offense, Excalibur.
And you can see clutching that arm.
Yeah.
So that arm was whipped into the ladder. That was the arm he tried to brace for that German suplex on the outside for. And Joey Janela, standing switcher by Omega and sends Janela into the ladder.
Man, everybody seems to be on the verge of hitting that one move they need to hit to win. So we're down to that, in my estimation, here in the late innings, no pun intended.
Yeah, that one last shot. Omega puts on the brakes.
Oh, back elbow.
Janela rattled by that back elbow. Ducks under.
Suplex, and the Omega.
And that might be it.
Cover. The toes are down. Oh, how close. How close is that? I'd love to see that count again.
Half a heartbeat away was Joey Janela from defeating Kenny Omega.
Watch this.
Look at
that was a throw. That was like a Greco-Roman throw, not even really a suplex. A violent, vicious throw by Joey Janela, and Omega's head broke his fall on the ladder.
Yeah. Much to Kenny Omega's chagrin.
Great matchup. AEW Dark. Always check your listings.
Yeah, thank you for joining us here on YouTube for AEW Dark. Check out AEW Tix for all of our live events. ShopAEW.com as well.
It was unusual when Jericho announced the name of his team. It blew up the website.
Yeah, ShopAEW.com crashed when the Inner Circle made their presence known.
Everything's good now, folks. If you want to check it out. Oh!
Whoa! Hello! Bang! Right on the money!
Good morning. And how are you today? Look at Omega. And look at Janela follows him right in. He's like one step ahead. And
just as soon as you say that, yeah. Omega turns the tables.
That's relentless. Relentless Kenny Omega.
And Omega got Janela against the ropes looking for the V-trigger. Charging in. Janela!
Inside out. Upside down goes Janela from that clothesline. Or getting ready for the clothesline.
Fisherman's Brainbuster.
One,
hook. Two. No!
That's a second. I mean, extremely near fall in the last minute that Janela has created on Omega.
And you have to keep in mind the deteriorating mental state of Kenny Omega, how these losses, how the presence of Jon Moxley here in AEW has been affecting him. And, well, he has to focus on Janela in this matchup. What is the presence of Moxley in the back of his mind?
How do we, if we were Kenny Omega, and I'm trying to put this as gently as I can, you know that if you fight Jon Moxley and you fight him with weapons or anything else, the bad blood that exists there, somebody's going to get hurt badly.
Somebody's going to get hurt, and I would say that Jon Moxley has the advantage in that type of match.
He may. He doesn't give a damn. And I don't know that I don't want to say he's soulless, but he is a very, very dangerous human being.
Heartless.
So now Kenny's got to make a metamorphosis change into that. It's not his normal personality.
And it seems to be effective.
Oh,
look at...
Oh! Superplex off the top. Man. Yeah, exactly, buddy. Woo. You wonder how much longer it can go.
Look at the elevation as we take the look at the replay. Look how high Omega was up, and Janela tried to pull him down into a brainbuster. But I think that the punishment was just too much.
Still amazing impact.
Yeah.
On both men, especially on Omega. And Janela stirs up first. Joey Janela with the advantage here.
And Omega on the outside of the ropes, on the apron, with his back to that table, with the hardware facing up.
No time to entertain.
Janela went for that Russian leg sweep.
Omega held on the ropes, and that saved him.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of Omega hanging onto the ropes and then also maybe that ring apron. Janela might have lost his footing. Or from the ring skirt.
Omega's hurting. He's got to reach down. He's going to find whatever he needs, wherever he can find it, in his heart, in his soul, wherever it may be, and put this kid, Joey Janela, away.
And think about this, both of these men will be in action next week in Philadelphia when AEW Dynamite is at the Liquor Center.
If you haven't got a ticket, folks, it's been sold out for quite some time. However, generally on the day of the events, some tickets are made available after the production kills are addressed and all those things. So if you want to go, just stay tuned to that. And
stay tuned to AE Wrestling on Twitter.
Yep.
Omega and Janela desperately trying to fight to avoid being planted on that table.
Oh! Fight all you want. Still, fans are grimacing at the punishment that both these men are dishing out. This has not been a pretty match. Some might say it's bowling shoe ugly, but it's damn sure physical.
Janela with Omega up on the shoulders. Death Valley driver into the ladder.
Well, these guys are going to have bad dreams about ladders and other inanimate objects. Fans standing here, many of them, just half-assing off what they're seeing.
The reaction is akin to somebody that witnesses a car crash.
Yeah, what do you say? What do you do? I can tell you right now, Janela is wasting time. He can move all this furniture around all he wants, be very strategic. He's giving Omega a chance to breathe. And that's not a good thing for Joey Janela.
Omega is one of the most resilient competitors in professional wrestling.
Never count Kenny Omega out. And the Chairs are certainly a nice tag team partner for Joey Janela, the bad boy.
Now Janela setting up the ladder in front of the table. Omega still struggling to get to his feet.
Not a good place to be, Kenny. Not a good place to be.
And Kenny laying prone on that table as Janela continues to pepper him with right hands to the head and face.
More strikes to keep Omega stationary or somewhat stationary and stay on that table. As Janela's going to take a massive chance climbing to the top of that ladder, it seems. Wide-eyed and ready to take a chance is the bad boy. And oh my God, nobody there. The frog splash found wood.
The pool was empty. Nobody home for Joey Janela.
It's an amazing contest. One of the best matches we've had to date on AEW television. Take another look at this, folks.
This superhuman frog splash from Joey Janela.
There was nowhere Omega moves when Janela was in midair. Janela couldn't change his course. Look at this. Nobody there. And boom, the table's there.
And Omega, what awareness there as he jumped out of the way, rolled out of the way as soon as Janela left his feet. Now Omega pops up into the spinebuster bomb. 1, 2. No, Janela gets the left shoulder up.
Omega's got to do a better job of covering the shoulders on that pinning predicament, because you know that Janela's going to, as long as he's breathing, as long as Janela's breathing, he's in this fight.
Yeah,
that's the way he operates. He's in the fight.
Drape those ankles over the shoulders of Janela. This match might be over with, but you have to keep in mind that possible ankle injury that Omega suffered earlier on with that dive that landing on the barricade.
Oh, V-trigger coming up.
Oh! Bang! Right on the money.
That is one of the most devastating maneuvers in all of pro wrestling. Certainly here in AEW, the V-trigger knee of Kenny Omega, who loves to beat people with a one-winged angel.
Janela knows that as well as anybody. Just tripping and sending Omega throat first into that middle rope.
Oh, man, jumping knee. Janela fights back. Man, these guys are hammering. They're not playing around here.
Oh, Omega turning Joey Janela inside out.
Omega beginning to feel it here. So this huge crowd, double arm
the paradigm
DDT.
shift. Oh, Janela kicks out. Using Jon Moxley's finisher.
Yeah, that's a little, here, how's this? How's this taste, Mr. Moxley? They know that date with Destiny's coming.
Yeah, the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, November 9th. Tickets available on AEWTix.com, also be on pay-per-view.
Not many tickets are still available, by the way, but you're not too late. Again, the pay-per-view's good for all of us. Look at this double arm.
Oh, he's got Janela, though, floats up and over the top.
Oh, Omega right through the table, over the top, through the table, to the ice. Good Lord, what more can these men do to each other?
And look at how Omega, just his body scrapes down that hardware of the table.
Yeah, they're not wearing pads, folks. You can see there's no uniform there. This is skin on inanimacy.
You talked about how the chair makes a great tag team partner. Gravity, perhaps, the best tag team partner there for Joey Janela. And now, Janela heading up top with that chair across the chest of Omega. Oh, diving foot stomps!
The cover, Janela, cover. The leg is neutralized. And a kick out by Kenny Omega. That tells you all you need to know about how badly Kenny Omega wants to get back on the winning trail. How badly he wants to prepare in a positive way for Jon Moxley.
But look at Omega. I mean, just anguish on the face of Kenny Omega. The chair now being wedged between the top and middle strand.
Again, Janela, we know he's confident. We know he's a defiant young man. Certainly believes in his work, and man, that didn't look good at all. All that, those shots to the chest and the abdomen causing a very negative reaction, as you can just see. We're not going to detail on that with Kenny Omega, who's still trying to fight.
Whoa, but Omega eating a right hand courtesy of the bad boy there.
Again, non-sanctioned. Nobody can be disqualified. This match, yay or nay, doesn't count on your record, but it counts in your heart. It counts in your mind. Have a seat. Elbow unfettered.
Yeah, that overhand elbow, the catching. Oh, Janela actually taunting Omega, saying you're never going to be Jon Moxley.
Oh, what a kick. What a kick right to the face.
That pump kick just knocking Omega back out of the chair.
I'm telling you, the referee's got to check those eyes of Kenny Omega. And maybe he's sounding too protective.
No, but very much so. I mean, we have to keep the condition of the competitors in mind, first and foremost. And, I mean, I have to believe that Paul Turner is doing exactly that, but at some point, when is enough?
Yeah, exactly. Omega, the variety of scratches and cuts on his body.
Yeah.
Saw some blood also from Janela.
Yeah, the abrasion on that right wrist of Janela, I believe. This has been a brutal affair.
Omega is in such jeopardy. Look at hear those shots right to the spine by Joey Janela. Oh my God.
Janela with Omega strung up over those chairs, but Omega.
Omega catches Janela at the top in no man's land. And boy, could this be the end? It's going to be the end for somebody. That's a bad landing in those four chairs.
No.
What the hell is Omega thinking here?
Oh, no, God.
But Janela's got to fight with all his heart, everything he's got to get out of this predicament. He's trying. Janela hitting Omega as hard and as often as he can, but Omega continues. But Omega may go through these chairs. Look at this.
Just right elbows being exchanged in no more dangerous location in this building. Omega grabbing a handful of Janela's. Oh, no!
Oh, the slam! The chairs driven into the spine of Joey Janela.
The deadly driver into the chairs.
Oh my God, what action. What a matchup.
And Kenny Omega, he sees Janela caught in the corner. Goodbye and good night. Bang!
Janela's face right into the chair, thanks to that V-trigger. And now, or is it one-winged angel time? Oh my God!
Onto the chair!
One-winged angel on the steel. Omega makes the cover. He's got the leg. The shoulders are down. And Kenny Omega wins one hell of a wrestling match here on AEW. This dark program's getting pretty damn good, man.
The winner of this match, Kenny Omega.
Well, he may have had John Moxley on his mind, but sooner than later, it became all Joey Janela on his mind.
And Omega shows what makes him so great. Once he focuses, once he gets his mind into it, there is nobody better in the world.
A man recognized by many publications as the Wrestler of the Year in 2018. He's been as dominant as anybody in the business in the last 2 or 3 years. I called 3 of his matches with Okada, and they were amazing. It put Kenny on the map.
New Jersey, weighing 200.
And this match was just wall-to-wall brutality.
It was a highlight reel. Excalibur, a highlight reel. And these men used everything that the rule book would allow them to do. They dodged bullet after bullet. Look at this. Omega could have broken his leg right there or got a concussion. And maybe he didn't have a concussion. I don't know.
If he did a great job of hiding it.
He did.
Paul Turner allowing this match to continue.
Look at these amazing near falls. And don't forget, a guy's got a kick out right there. I never thought Janela would ever heal from that.
Oh, my God.
But he did with that counter.
That German suplex off the stairs put Janela in the driver's seat in this matchup for a good period of time. But Omega has the perseverance. He has that fighting spirit deep in his heart.
I am very impressed with Joey Janela. Joey Janela made a fan out of me here tonight, without a doubt. And I cannot wait to see this sort of action when John Moxley and Kenny Omega go one-on-one. That match of the year title may be in their sights.
Omega and Janela just, from the windows to the walls here in the Agganis Center. And this was the beginning of the end there for Janela.
Yeah, it was. One-winged angel on the chair, as violent and aggressive as you could ever imagine. And Kenny Omega persevered through hell and high water. Kenny Omega is ready for John Moxley.
Kenny Omega looking like the Omega of old, getting the victory over the bad boy. Well, that's all for me here, folks. Right here from AEW Dark, I'm Tony Schiavone. On behalf of all of us on All Elite Wrestling, thanks very much for watching. This is AEW Dark, and I'll see you next week.